Hello, hello everybody. Today I have a brand new book called Stellarfint. It's a really cute story about finding success even when nobody believes in you or when everybody around you is telling you that you can't. One ordinary Monday at 9 a.m. precisely, Stella walked into Space Command. "Hello," she said. "I'd like to become an astronaut." "We don't make spacesuits in your size or shape. Unless you can find a spacesuit to fit you, I can't approve your application." He kept giving her all of these challenges, all of these reasons why she couldn't be an astronaut. And she didn't take no for an answer. She just kept figuring out solutions to all those problems, and now I don't think he has any problems left that he can throw at her. "Why won't they approve my application?" thought Stella. "I've trained for this. I have a suit, a rocket, and a crew. They have to let me be an astronaut." But then Stella realized they actually didn't have to. She didn't need their approval. She had everything she needed already. There they are. They're in space. They all became astronauts. Now hiring. All are welcome. So they created their own space station where any animal can fly to space. And look at all the animals that have gotten to take a trip into space because of Stella. So even though Stella had managers and big boss Space Command and whoever that guy was at the front desk telling her that she couldn't do it, she knew she could. And she tackled all of those challenges and she decided, you know what? I don't need them. I'm just going to start my own Space Command. And she flew into space with her friends, and all these other animals got a chance to do the same thing. I hope you guys loved this brand new story, Stellarfint, and I hope as I was reading it to you, you felt inspired to be whatever you want to be, no matter what anybody tells you. I am so excited to share one of our brand new storybooks called It's Mine. One day, there was a thing. Mouse saw the thing. "Tasty fruit," said Mouse. "Do you think that looks like tasty fruit?" "That fruit," said Mouse, "is mighty fine." "That fruit," said Mouse, "is mine, all mine." If you just stumbled upon something, would you take it, knowing that it maybe isn't yours to take? Frog needed a new wheel. "Mouse has the perfect wheel," says Frog. "That wheel," said Frog, "is mighty fine." "That wheel," said Frog, "is mine, all mine." Look, he broke into Mouse's house and he is taking the thing. So while Frog thinks the thing is a wheel and he's trying to put it on his bicycle, Fox thinks that the thing is a ball and he's trying to take it away from Frog. Bear needed a new chair. I think he may have smushed his chair. Bear saw the thing. "Fox has the perfect chair," said Bear. Oh my goodness. When all of a sudden there was a wobble. You guys, I don't think that this thing is what any of them thought it was. "It's mine," said Mama Crocodile. "It's yours," said everyone. And look, they ran away. These really fun, silly stories can sometimes teach us a very important lesson. And I think this book has a couple of different lessons that we can learn. There are different perspectives. That means that different people can see things, or different animals can see things different ways. So one animal saw this thing and thought it was a fruit, but it wasn't, it was an egg. And so different people can see things differently. And sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. And sometimes we don't know who's right and who's wrong. The other lesson is that you really shouldn't take something if it's not yours or if you don't really know what it is, right? And you definitely shouldn't take something from somebody else. And I think they all learned that lesson at the end of the story when big old Mama Crocodile came in and said, "It's mine," and they all ran away because they knew that they had taken something from somebody else and they shouldn't have done that. I want to read our brand new book, Unicorns Don't Love Rainbows. This book is so great because it talks about how it's okay to be different and you don't have to be just like your friends. You can be different from them. So many unicorns love to be happy. They spend their days smiling. Well, I think that's sappy. Yes, I am a unicorn, but as you'll see, there really is something quite different about me because I do not like smiling. I do not like cake. I do not like ice cream. What? It makes my tummy ache. They all love bright colors, especially pink. But this in particular makes my heart sink. For I have a style that most unicorns lack, and that is because my favorite color is black. Suddenly, I realize with a puff, we think differently about all sorts of stuff. Should I only have friends who think like I do? Who only like black and who hate rainbow poo? No! I can be me and you can be you. And we can help others feel that way too. For here is the most helpful thing you will find. Are you listening? The best thing in life is to always be kind. Remember, your friends can be quite unlike you, so we can be different and similar too. I think it was really special that this unicorn doesn't like rainbows, doesn't like sparkles, really likes black. And that's okay, because it makes him special and unique, and he can be different from all the other unicorns, and they could still have a lot in common, and they could still be friends. Also, an animal, and I'm so excited to share this book with you, but first, let me tell you why I chose this book. Have you guys ever noticed that when you're in a grumpy mood, it's hard to talk to your mom and dad, or your brother and your sister, like you love them, even though you know you love your family? When you're in a grumpy mood, it's really hard to talk with love sometimes. Grown-ups sometimes have a hard time showing that we love too. Sometimes we have a hard time showing that we love our kids when we're having a really frustrating, grumpy day. And so I picked this book because we get to see how parents love their little ones. Sometimes, parents, it's really helpful to read books about love to your kids because sometimes parents have a hard time too. Okay, let's dive in. This is also an animal. Are you ready? There's a lot of animal names in here that I did not know. Are you guys ready to learn? If you were a calf, then I'd be a moose. I'd teach you to tug tasty twigs till they're loose. If you were a kit, then I'd be a skunk. And I wouldn't mind a bit if you stunk. If you were a pinky, then I'd be a mouse. I'd build you a warm, grassy nest for a house. Did you know a baby mouse is called a pinky? That's so funny. If you were a puffling, then I'd be a puffin. I wouldn't let anyone hurt you for nothing. If you were a cygnet, then I'd be a swan. I'd teach you to ride on my back. Just hop on. If you were a leveret, then I'd be a hare. I'd teach you when to be still and aware. A leveret is a baby hare. Woods, water, or air, I would always be there, for wild or tame, I love you the same. Wasn't that such a sweet book? I think today, from this story, I'm learning that even if we might be having a grumpy day, I still love my kids more than anything in the whole world. And I bet when you guys are having a really grumpy day, I bet you still love your parents or your grandparents or your siblings more than anything in the whole world, even though sometimes it's hard to say it.